And when you guys join the program, this is where you can be trading from.
Right. Say it louder for the
Just kidding.
people in money. What was kind of like a summary of the past 6 months, and how did mentorship actually help you get to where you are right now?
Ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. Some of them I joke to you, like it's helped me become a better gambler. I can walk away with the win instead of giving it all back.
Mhm.
Half joking, of course, half truth. When I quit my job, this is what I signed up for. I was no longer complaining about working for a company and not getting a raise, not getting a promotion, when I felt like I deserved it. So by quitting and starting trading, now I'm the boss. If
Mhm.
I don't get that raise, it's because it's on me. So the only way to get it is to put in the work and actually, be the person that deserves that.
You see yourself as a full-time day trader from now on, right? Like, what's life going to look like for you?
I don't want to see myself doing anything else than this right now. I
Yeah,
cannot go back to a 9 to 5.
a pretty fun journey. I believe the last 6 months have been, I'm
Yeah.
sure, worthwhile for you, but we'll let you talk about that. So today we're just going to ask you a few questions, but really it's just a great way for us to all reflect and kind of talk about the journey, the things that you've learned, the ups and downs, blah, 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 and just wrap things up. But at the same time, continue to look forward as well, right? And your trading journey, honestly, 6 months in doesn't seem like it's a short time, but it's also not a long time, in the grand scheme of things. This is a skill, obviously, that you learn for now, for the rest of your life.
Looks like I'm gonna lead off with the first question. If you need us to repeat something, just let us know. But the floor is yours. Introduce yourself and kind of speak to your trading history and kind of your perceptions on the goals you initially had with trading.
Okay, I'm Jordan. My trading history was not good. It really started with crypto in 2017, and I messed around a little bit trading crypto and not knowing what I'm doing, just buying when it's going up and selling when, well, I never sold. I was a terrible trader. And after losing a bunch of money trying to trade, crypto for me just became a buy and hold. Like I would have had so much more money if I just didn't trade. So coming into and stocks, I kind of carried that into stocks. Like I didn't try to trade stocks ever. I just learned from crypto and just bought and held. So getting into options, it's a term I'd heard before. My brother had thrown it out before. He told me to stay away. He said it's just gambling. That's my history. So I'm coming into options like, okay, you can make a bunch of money. I want to make a bunch of money. And yeah, I don't know if that answers it fully, but there's so much more. I'm sure you have more questions.
Yeah, totally. Thank you.
Yeah, we all, right? That's like the first thing we think about is just how much money we can make in trading. That's what gets us in. But you had to quickly find out, right, that wasn't going to keep you in it, right? In brief, like, how would you summarize like your trading journey thus far? Like, obviously we're going to get into the details of it, but like you started off, oh yeah, let's do this, excited, let's make a bunch of money. What was kind of like a summary of the past 6 months, and how did mentorship actually help you get to where you are right now?
Ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. Um, After like reflecting more recently, I found out it was probably not a good thing that I got lucky early on.
Hmm.
I got lucky early on doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing, and that was the high. That was like December, and Trump had just got elected, so the stock
Hmm.
market is like all going up. I could buy anything, and I made money in calls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And come January, that all changed, and I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh shit, this is not what was working for me." January was my worst month ever, and February came back, tail between my legs. Like, okay, I need to do some diving into all the literature you guys wrote, and I think that's when I probably reached out to you a few times.
Yeah. So, obviously we had some highs and lows, right? Let's start with some of the lows. You mentioned obviously going in certain things that you were doing that you weren't supposed to do. Like, what was hard for you in the beginning? Like, give us like a little glimpse of the struggles you had initially, and that caused you to tuck your tails in February, right? Like,
Yeah.
and need the consent kind of start to go into like how you overcame it.
I think what was hard for me was just losing. I didn't like to lose. I refused to lose.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what was worse than what was worse to me than losing was closing a position and then seeing it do what you've been waiting for it to do.
Mm-hmm.
So what that led me to do is that, well, I'm just going to hold next time. I'm going to hold until it
Ooh.
reverses. And it probably worked the first few times, and I was like, okay, this is all I have to do, and then it stopped working. Um, and then I discovered averaging down, and a couple times it didn't work, but eventually it got to a point where I just added so many contracts for so cheap, and it came back, and I was like, okay, this is a part of my new comeback strategy. And then it works until it doesn't, and it
Mm-hmm.
works until one account is blown, until two accounts are blown, and I don't know if it was number two, but come February, I was like, okay, I need to stop this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you actually brought on a couple of good points that I want to touch upon. You said you didn't want to lose in the beginning. What was a new perspective that you took on to kind of handle quote unquote losing better?
I think just redefining what losing means. Losing now no longer means losing money. Losing now means breaking my plan. Losing now means not respecting my stop loss. Even winning, like I try to, if I try to equate losing to that, then I can't even equate winning to making money anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Winning is following my plan. Losing is not following my plan. In the short term, P&L is the the how well you're doing, but I think in the long run, just building that discipline to do what you're supposed to do, and that's I still struggle with it now. Like I know what I need to do, and I just know that's a path now. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, and that's not to say that we don't struggle it as well, right? No matter how many years in, this becomes a struggle, and it's something that you just constantly have to work towards, and work against, and you just have to regulate and control properly. Reflecting now on that experience of that big struggle of you, like struggling in January, as awful and as poopy as it is, and we wouldn't want anyone to struggle. How necessary was that struggle for you?
You have to feel pain before these lessons are ingrained in you. You guys could say all the stories you've been through, all the lessons you've learned, and I can say, okay, I don't want to do that. But until you feel it, not even until you feel it, because it took me a couple times of feeling it before I changed. There's this quote I come across: pain plus reflection equals progress. And in the beginning, I just had pain, 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 pain. But it's really until I started reflecting and journaling and getting into my head, like that's when I started seeing progress. And that only happened like in the past month. So it was 5 months of pain, even though I had some winners.
All right, so we just talked a lot about the lows and kind of like that, what you had to overcome from those early months, right? So can you share with us some highs and kind of how once your mindset shifted, how was training, like just going beyond the screen?
Yeah, my first high was January 3rd. It's a Friday, and it's Tesla Friday. I PR'd for like, I don't know, 13,000 or something. And at the time, even now, that's a crazy amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I thought was a high. But I think that's the day I messaged you guys. I did everything possible wrong, and somehow I PR'd, if you remember that. So that was on a losing day. I refused to lose. I averaged down a shit ton, and it finally turned. So that early on was what I thought was a high. But later on, when I won a trade, made money, doing what I was supposed to do, that was like a double high. I was like, okay, I didn't make nearly as much as what I made on that day, but when you make money doing what you're not supposed to do, it feels good, but you're not proud. But when you make money doing what you're supposed to do, you feel good and you're proud. So that's a difference to me now.
Yeah, that's a huge difference. I'm glad you were able to see the difference between the two, right? You know, we can get a lot into how that $13,000 day was, you know, like a crazy good, right, and amazing. But at the end of the day, there's a feeling deep down that you know what, I probably shouldn't do that, and I think you knew at the time too that it wasn't going to be sustainable, right? No matter how big that number is, if you were to continue to do that, it will likely, you know, bite you in the ass the next time, right?
I think I followed that day with my PRL day as well.
That's usually how it works.
That's very much usually how it works. Yeah.
I don't know if I told you that part.
Truth comes out now.
It's all good.
No, but that's really good that you were able to see the difference between there, and then from there, right, like when you do everything right, then you feel like that's something that I can repeat over and over again, right, and that feels good, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing your highs. What were some key pivotal turning points in your training career? Like, when did you start? We have this quote, it's called like turning the corner. When did you like, oh my gosh, that's all I had to fix? And when did you start making these fixes? What were those moments like?
There were a couple, and I don't remember exactly which one of you told me, maybe Johnny, but the first one was just kind of like a quote, like this is a personal development course, disguised as a trading course, and that's when it kind of got my brain thinking. And the second one was, I forget the details, but I think I asked you a question about technicals or indicators or something, and you sent me a video on limiting beliefs. And I was like, what the heck? This doesn't even answer what I asked you. But I watched that, and that took me down just a rabbit hole of limiting beliefs, paired with hearing you always talking about limiting beliefs. That video that you watch once a month, that just really got my mind thinking, like, okay, it's something else. So that was definitely a mindset shift.
Yeah. It's so hard, especially early on, because you're so focused on trying to learn, and so you want to know the best strategy, the best indicators, the best system, whatever it is to make you a lot of money, right? But a lot of people don't realize that it's all about your mindset, and not just mindset, because everyone can just throw out the word mindset, but obviously, like what we really worked on with you, and just in general, what we preach is just how do you operate, like what is wired into you that causes you to make these decisions, right? It's these beliefs that we have, especially beliefs about money, right? Money is hard to come by, money is hard to make, money is evil, blah blah, like all these things that we have to kind of undo. Otherwise, they continue to affect how we handle winners, and especially how we handle losses, right? And yeah, so I'm glad you were able to kind of take that on. I think that's honestly like how quickly you responded to that. Like, you know, Tang, Vinny, and I, we really were like, oh wow, Jordan really taking this like really on really quickly and accepting and being open about this, because a lot of people are just like, no, just show me how to make money, right? Just give me the best indicator, tell me how to make this trade work so that I can make as much money as possible. And we have to work really, really hard to get them out of that mindset of just making money, and actually just focusing on becoming the best person that you can be, the best version of yourself. And obviously, to do that, you have to work on your mindset. You have to work on your approach to not just trading, but your approach to life. And you took that on really quickly and really early on, and I was really, really happy about that. So
it took a lot of repeated losses.
Yeah.
and not just repeated losses, like repeated losses of the same kind of mistake. Like, not all of them were technical losses. They were just I didn't want to take this small loss, so I turned it into a huge loss.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept on doing that. So I'm like, there's no indicator on that. There's no strategy. There's got to be something else. And that was it.
Yeah. Sounds like the shift from the technical and mechanical and the foundational aspects of trading into the psychological part of trading really made a big difference for you. So at this point in your career, your short 6-month career, how confident do you feel to operate on your own as an independent trader?
Fully confident. You like your strategies are good. You guys have spent a lot of time making it. But there's so many different strategies that can work. And the difference is, the mindset training that you guys are so good at. I don't see anybody else on social media preaching that because it's not sexy. You guys aren't flashing your P&Ls to try to get students, and that's a huge difference because a lot of those guys are, and it's just a numbers game to them, trying to get members, and they don't care if their students succeed or not, really. So I think the best thing is you guys have helped me to become aware of myself, self-aware of, there's always a saying that like trading is a mirror, helps you, it'll bring out all your flaws and your true characteristics, and that definitely has happened to me. I've learned like it's not me against the market, not me against institutions. It's me against me, and that's something I haven't faced before. But you guys have definitely given me the tools to take me on.
Yeah, Jordan, you sound confident. We are very confident in you, and just to kind of touch a little bit more on, just how this experience has been a lot more, like you said, it's it's disguised as a trading course, right? So beyond that, how would you describe the mentorship experience that you've had this past 6 months?
Really good. Because it's the personal development course. It's helped me in so many other aspects. Like some of them I joke to you, like it's helped me become a better gambler. I can walk away with the win instead of giving it all back. Half joking, of course, half truth, because there is truth there. But even with weight loss, like I gained a lot of weight over the past few years, and just learning like the discipline to say no to cookies and ice cream is the same discipline that's needed to say no to a bad setup. And I was failing at both. So, just diving into that, like, okay, how can I expect to respect my stop loss when I'm eating 3 cookies when I said I would just have 1? So just bringing this awareness to things outside of trading, connecting dots, and that's just one aspect. Like discipline, patience, gratitude, these things go to all aspects of life. So that's how this program's helped.
Yeah, and I'm sure I speak for all of us when I can say we're like super proud and we're super grateful for you for even the opportunity to influence and positively affect your life like that. It's really a blessing on our end as well. You've been super receptive from the beginning to all of our feedback and all of our suggestions. But looking back, and I think you had this thought before, do you think you could have done this alone? But not only that, do you think you would have done this, you could have done this alone within 6 months and get to where you are now?
No way. I probably would have tried it for a month, lost a bunch of money, quit. Or if I didn't quit, I would have put in more money and lost even, I would have lost everything. So definitely could not have done it without this mentorship. Or maybe I would still be trying other people's courses on social media for a month at a time. And yeah, so definitely couldn't have done it without this. Definitely couldn't have done it in 6 months. Not without just being pure gambles, at least.
Yeah, I mean, talking about that, like, maybe we kind of shift a little bit into just the mentorship experience, but you know, obviously there are a lot of topics or issues or habits that traders develop that kind of keep them in the same cycle, right? That kind of stunt their growth and kind of keep them doing the same thing over and over again. Can you highlight like a time where, like, and we're getting a little bit more specific, so to see if we can recall some things, but can you highlight a time where like one of us really helped you navigate like a really difficult setback?
And I would say my most common issue that I come to you guys with is just not accepting a small loss and turning it into a big loss.
Mm-hmm.
How you guys have helped me overcome this, I think you do a good job at just bringing up the limiting beliefs, like why I am refusing to accept that small loss. Maybe scarcity of money.
Mm-hmm.
But it even goes the other way, like when I hold past my target and it goes back down to break even, or even worse, like why didn't I sell that? I think you guys have done a good job at bringing up gratitude. I mean, that can limiting belief of money can still apply to that. Like I needed to have more because there's not enough. But Johnny, you always do a good job saying how we already are enough, we have enough, we are enough, and we'll always have enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really helpful.
Yeah, being able to operate, abundance mindset, but really just knowing that you're going to be okay no matter what. I think one of the things with losing in general is just that it attacks you at the very core, right, of who you are, where because you lose, you feel, like you value yourself less, or that you're not as good as you think you are, or you kind of degrade yourself just because you had a loss, right? But we really had to reframe these losses. I know we talked a lot about just, actually, you brought this up in one of our mentorship sessions where you said, "Oh yeah, I can kind of view losing as just like a missed shot, right? In basketball, how many shots did Kobe take, right? Did a missed shot ever affect him? No, he had that confidence that he's going to take the same shot every single time, right? Especially that mid-range jumper, right? He's going to trust himself no matter what, right? And if he misses one shot, it's okay. We'll take the next one and we'll make the next one, right? Especially because you also started to believe in your system, where based on the system that you have and the risk management part of it, when I lose, this is how much I lose, right? And if you know how much you stand to lose, nothing can scare you.
Yeah.
So
I also want to acknowledge real quick that like you have been very receptive and open to our feedback, but you've also put in the work. It's not to say that like we did all the heavy lifting and we just like got you there. It was you that read those books. It was you that back tested. It was you that dove into your limiting beliefs. It was you that reflected, you that journaled. Like we merely were just guides on your own journey. We pointed the way, but you walked that path. So like anytime that you do catch yourself, maybe doubting yourself again, maybe feeling not as confident, like know that you put in the work and you deserve to be where you are right now, and you deserve even more as you continue to work even harder.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, that's when I quit my job, this is what I signed up for. I was no longer complaining about working for a company and not getting a raise, not getting a promotion, when I felt like I deserved it. So by quitting and starting trading, now I'm the boss. If I don't get that raise, it's because it's on me. So the only way to get it is to put in the work and actually, be the person that deserves that.
right, and we can tell you put in the work. It's very easy.
The work doesn't stop. Job's not done.
Man. Yeah, and that's the other thing, right? That mindset of, this isn't something where, we talk about mindset, we do this or that like once, and then you're good for the week. No, it's something that you have to show up every single day to, work on every single day, and continuously improve. I think that's one of the best qualities of a student, and you definitely exemplified all that. It's just someone that is willing to put in the work, willing to continue working on growth, and willing to learn all the time, right? This isn't something where you can get stagnant and just be like, okay, I got it, I'm good, and then not do a single thing outside of that. As you know, not just, how you traded in December, right? Like the market conditions for that were way different than January, February, right? And obviously even March and April now, like this past couple of months have been completely different as well. So as the market evolves, we have to evolve. And that's what you've been doing. And that's what you've opened yourself up to. And so you're going to continue to keep getting better.
Yeah, I think these past few months of just being on edge with any tariff tweet has definitely I mean, I'm not there yet, but that's why I'm so locked in on defense.
Mm-hmm.
One tweet could send it south, it could skyrocket it, and I have to like the stop loss, that I have to respect that. That's my defense. So
Yeah. Can you just
I
for those that will watch this, right? What do you mean by defense?
protecting your your capital,
Mm-hmm.
protecting your even your my mental capital. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would, by refusing to take a small loss in the morning and waiting it out, I would turn a 8 a.m. end time into a 1 p.m. grinder,
Oof.
and a lot of times I would just lose more. Like if I would have just stopped. So what the problem was, I was still on offense when I should have been on defense. I should have cut my losses, called it a day, and gone on with the other parts of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to me, when you mention defense, that really speaks to the kind of the mental and the psychological fortitude that you've built over the past 6 months, right? So what do you think is one of the most important kind of skills in terms of psychological skills or mental skills that a trader really needs? And kind of how, can you touch on how maybe this mentorship program helped you develop that?
I think the most important thing is discipline. Like patience is important because it could prevent you from jumping in too early and losing. But if you don't have discipline, like if you don't have patience and you get in that trade, but you have discipline, you can still cut your loss. But if you have patience and you wait for your setup, but you don't have discipline, you could get a massive loss. So while patience is important, I think discipline is the most important. Discipline and consistency, like those are the top two.
That's true. And then definitely, like you mentioned, just like your stop losses in real life, right? I think from the very beginning, we said how you do anything is how you do everything. And it took some time, but I definitely think you really took that on. And now discipline is your game.
Now I
Uh,
just eat 2 cookies when I say I eat 2 cookies. That's it.
Maybe.
Yeah, dude. That's great stuff. Yeah, I definitely agree with discipline as being one of it. I will say though, the other skill that you really developed, and it really just started, I wanted to point it out because Tang, Vinny, and I have talked about it a lot, is, as we've seen you grow, we've seen some changes, not in just obviously your P&L or like your win rate or whatever it is, that by default it just by like naturally it's going to improve because you're improving with your discipline, but also the way that you talk changed. Right, Tang and I and Vinny, we talked about this a lot. Like, oh, Jordan just sounds different, than how he used to sound, like back in January and December, where it's like, yeah, Tesla Fridays, like. But I mean, I would say the way that you talk, I think it stems from just how much more grateful you are, right? We talked about gratitude, and I think one day you lifted up a whiteboard and it had the word gratitude on it, and I was like, oh, I really love that you did that, because we talk about it a lot with a lot of students, but not everyone really takes that on and really kind of ingrains that into their brain and just makes it a part of who they are. Like, I'm just grateful, right, for every single day. And when you can be grateful, and really feel like you have enough, like we talk about, how can you chase? What need is there to chase? What need is there to feel FOMO, right? Or overtrade or anything like that, or make back a loss? Like, you're just grateful for each and every single day, each and every opportunity that you have, win, lose, or draw. Like, you're just grateful. And that allows you to operate in your best version of yourself. And I think that's definitely something, like, in addition to your discipline that you showed. So
Yeah, gratitude is definitely something I start my trading sessions with now. I have certain podcasts. I have a gratitude journal. I think
Nice.
it helps me get in the right mind state before a trading session. I kind of skip 6:30 to 7. I'm even stretching it out a little further now. I'll get on at 7:15, 7:30. Nothing good happens before 7 a.m. Only trouble.
You know how many years it took
So
us to realize that before we learned not to trade the first 15, 20 minutes?
It's being recorded. Please don't expose us.
yeah. So I mean, now I just I use that time to get started with the gratitude journal.
Right.
Certain podcasts that just get me in the right mind state, and I think it's helping.
Really happy about that gratitude piece, and that's something that I would encourage everyone to really look at. It's like it's hard because when you want to make money and you want to be better and you want more for your life, it's hard to think that you actually have enough, right? But one of the things that really changed for me was realizing that just because I'm striving for more, that doesn't mean I have less. And when I realized that, that really helped me turn the corner in terms of just being the best trader that I can be, the best person that I can be before every trading day. So you definitely have taken that on, and I know that's helping you a lot. The mentorship service itself, right? The program that you're under. Would you recommend this paid mentorship to others who are looking to improve their trading mindset?
I would. But it takes the right kind of person. Like you have to target someone who really wants to change. Like even people that just want to make more money trading, I don't know if that's the right person,
Yep.
because when they don't make more money, they'll probably quit. I came from a job that I hated for 8.5 years. Like mentally, I suffered. It was draining me, and that was kind of the turning point. Like I don't want to go back to that. I'm going to put in the work. And I think it just depends. Like I've tried to refer a few people to this program, and they just don't want it bad enough yet. So I would definitely recommend it, but depends. Gotta have the right person.
Right, and we feel the exact same way, right? That's why we're not just trying to just get as many people in as possible. There's actually a whole process that we go through to kind of weed out certain people and just make sure that everyone that is a part of our community is someone that has the right mindset and wants the same things and is working for it the right way. Like we, from our very first consult, that topic of interest versus commitment, right? Everyone's interested in making money, but can you be committed to being the type of person that can make that money first, right? Everyone wants to be successful, but can you be the type of person that is successful first before you can be successful? And that's not for everybody, at least not right away, right? So, yeah.
I think I became committed when I quit my job.
You kind of had to, right?
Like yes.
Yeah.
Baby on the way. I had to make this work.
Yeah, that's right. And how would you say then, like, given what you've gone through over the last 6 months, right? And just the power that trading has to kind of transform your life, like what do you see that trading can do for you now for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Like, can you see yourself as a full-time day trader from now on, right? Like, what's life going to look like for you?
I don't want to see myself doing anything else than this right now. Like I cannot go back to a 9 to 5. I had always heard day trading, you make a lot of money. You could make a lot of money. But what I'm starting to learn over these past few months is the time freedom. That's the most valuable thing that trading gives, if done correctly. Just the ability to be done by 8:30, 9 o'clock when I would have been starting. And all I have to do is, wake up a little early, which is fine because I wake up early anyway. But to have the whole rest of the day to do whatever you want, to focus on fitness, health, family, priceless.
Yeah.
And I think what makes it even better, you can do it from your laptop in Hawaii, from your phone on the plane, anywhere. Or if you don't want to, you don't have to. And trading will be there tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's a lifelong skill. And once you have it, no one can take it away from you. It's a dream life, honestly, and we're so happy to have been able to be a part of this journey for you to get to this point. It's really, Tang said it earlier already, but we can't speak to it enough how meaningful this type of work is for us, like because we know how powerful trading can be and in transforming people's lives and getting them out of that rat race and being able to live the life that they want, do the things that they want, and provide for the family. Like, that's priceless, like you said. So we're so happy that we were able to kind of be a part of this journey for you.
Yeah.
and I'm so thankful for you guys. And this journey is not over. It's just getting started.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And the gift of time is going to be great, especially in your current situation where you have a little one coming your way.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect recipe to set you up to challenge you to become the best father and even a better trader along this path.
We'll see.
Good
Happy
luck
for you, man.
Yeah, we're so happy that again we were able to, honestly, the timing wise of everything too, be able to get you to this point right before the baby comes, right?
That was
and
the
again,
goal.
you're doing something that in 6 months that people take years and years to do, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years to actually get to that point. You don't have to throw out your P&L then your and whatever, like your PRs and stuff, but know that you are really well ahead of the curve, and you honestly, you're exemplified like the perfect student to us, just with everything that you've been able to do and accomplish, but also just because of the person that you are. So we appreciate having you with us, and we look forward to continuing to grow with you.
Likewise, yes.
Enjoy Hawaii, Jordan.
And enjoy the rest of your time in Hawaii. I love that you're doing the interview from Hawaii too. That's amazing. So
When you guys join the program, this is where you can be trading from.
right, say it louder for the people in the back.
There we go.
All right, Jordan, man, have a good rest of your time there, man. We'll take we'll talk to you next time.
All right. See you
Take
guys.
care.
Thanks.
Later.
Hey, Jordan.